Let's now talk about the role of instructional materials in curriculum development and also in overall teaching. These materials are among the key components of language teaching anywhere in the world. Teachers might use the materials given to them by the institutions already prepared, or teachers might prepare materials for themselves, or may choose any material from anywhere if that is facilitating for their learners. Yes, this choice is based on teachers' own will, or also based on the liberty provided to them by their institutions. Some institutions provide their teachers the freedom to choose their materials, while others, which are more in number, especially in second language learning context, and they want their teachers to follow a certain already prescribed course content. So, yes, but in all these cases, these materials are the major source of the language input for learners as well as for the classroom practices, because most of the practices or activities would be based on the materials introduced to the students within a classroom. In case of new teachers who are introduced those materials, these materials may serve as a trainer, and because these materials guide them for preparing their lecture or classroom instruction, as well as to prepare various classroom activities. Materials may occur in many forms. They may be in printed form, for example, workbooks, worksheets, readers, books, and they may be in a non-print form. For example, they may be available in videos or audio cassettes, DVDs, and we have loads of materials on internet as well. So they are being used by various teachers around the world. And we can also utilize the materials which were actually or primarily not designed for teaching a language. These could be some internet material, some media material, for example, newspapers, magazines, TV programs, or movies. They are not specifically designed for language teaching, but they have been used in language classrooms for making learners know various elements of language in actual use. So they can be healthy addition to the already available materials within the classroom. To Cunningsworth, the role of materials in a language course may be related to the following points. For example, presentation of materials. Materials would be spoken or written. This would decide a lot about the teaching methodology and the possible activities related to that, and also on the skills which would be focused on. So the presentation of material is very important. And then activities and what kind of facilities would be needed to practice those activities. That is another important point. Then reference for learners in case of their knowledge about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and so on. These materials could be used as a reference in order to provide the authentic guidance to the students. And then stimulation of ideas about various elements of language, especially during classroom activities. These contents or the materials might provide students some important ideas to be practiced within the classroom. Some teachers use instructional materials as their primary teaching resource, and as I said earlier, they are actually the primary requirement which needs to be fulfilled in many second language contexts. The materials provide the basis for the content of lessons, the balance of the skills which needs to be focused upon within a classroom, or the kind of language practices that need to be rehearsed within the classroom. For learners, it's a major source of language contact after the teacher, because materials provide them an exposure to the language they want to learn and the use of that language in various situations. So the choice of language materials is critical in any language learning course.